Okay, so let's talk about a little bit more sophistication. First, we're going to look at what kind of profiles we might want. So we used a really thick 5 by 5 and then a 1 by 1 square. So how do I change that? How do I make something new? So one of the things you're going to find is you got to get down to families for a lot of things. We've used it a couple times already. And now we're going to scroll down until we get to curtain wall mullions. And you'll see in here you have 6 different types. We have the L type, we have the quad corner, circular mullions, we have rectangular. And this is probably where you're going to land most of the time. So in rectangular, we have these 3 types: 1 inch, 1.5, 2.5, and 2.5, 5 inch. So let's just imagine that we want to change those. So what you'll want to do is look at your supplements and find a rectangular one that you need to create. But I'm just going to create one kind of randomly. So duplicate, and then I'm going to double click inside of it. Now realize this doesn't change anything, but I do want to be descriptive here. So let's just imagine that I'm going to create a 1 inch by 10 inch. That seems rather dramatic, but let's do that. And I think I can also do this. And whatever project I would be placing it on, I will do that. I'm going to start a new naming convention. Just go with our class name, 310. And, or actually I'll just do DA, Digital Applications. Okay. And then, so that didn't do anything except name it. Now I want to go thickness. I'm going to go to 10 inch. And width on side 1 and 2. Now you might wonder why it does this. Now let's remember that this was a 2.5 by 5 inch. So we can deduce right now that this is 1.25 plus 1.25 is 2.5. So that is what's going on. Now, what it's doing, just so you know, is like it's putting the glass right in the middle of the mullion. Okay? So if I wanted to be shifted to one side, flush with one side or the other, then I would start to weight this. So let's just say I did want to flush when I'm doing this. I would go 0 on one side, and since I want this to be a 1 inch, then 1 inch on the other, and I'm going to try to apply that. Now nothing happened. Not that I would expect it to happen, because I really haven't applied that rectangular mullion to this system. But let's do it. So I'm going to select it, I'm going to go in, and I'm going to do, let's just put all the interior horizontal mullions to my new DA 1 inch by 10 inch. And let's see let's kind of go around it. Didn't do quite what I was expecting, to be honest with you. Oh, I think I thought of it in a little kind of wrong way. So what it's actually was doing is like now wherever the actual horizontal grid is, it's going to drop it now down or up that 1 inch. So if I tab through here, we'll see that the line is right here at the very top of the mullion, and then below it is this. Now let's just imagine that I did want to shift this in the depth dimension, in the kind of Z dimension, I would say, so that it is kind of moving the glass panel up. How would we do that? And let me look into that. Okay, so as we get into making the panels, we'll get into kind of how to shift that. But the important thing here is that you now understand that to make custom mullions, which you'll be doing for this existing building, this is how you do it. Some things that are interesting about curtain wall systems, I'll just touch on right now, is that they allow you to do different things at different times. So right now we're really looking at a true curtain wall system, but one can imagine that I could start thinking about this like as if I was designing some kind of shelving system. So this could be an interior application. And I would start to, which might be why I would do some kind of profile like this. I could then assign it a material that perhaps is more interior, like wood, here, on again on that rectangular mullion. That's where I'm going to assign that material. And then I could start to look at when I'm creating the actual system, something that gets a lot horizontal mullions much quicker. So every 18 inches or so, suddenly this would apply. Or you could start thinking of this as a louvered system in a actual curtain wall. And then once I start to look at where this panel is, I can bring the panel kind of inboard and all of these horizontals outboard, and then it would be a true kind of louvered system. So you really can start to kind of think about various things. When you think about curtain walls, don't only think about applications to exterior.